Imagine you come back home after a couple of days to be out of town and you find somebody else living there. You try to get in and they don't let you in. What will be your first reaction? Most probably your first reaction will be to call the police to inform that somebody broke in. Now, if this person who is living in your property or who is in your property says that you already rent or is already leasing the property from you, the police cannot do anything. Why? Because a squatter, that's how this person will be called, it's not a criminal case, it's a civil case. If the squatter said no, we agree that I'm gonna lease the place. I'm gonna lease the place. We did a verbal agreement. Verbal agreements are legal, and the squatter can say no. We have a verbal agreement. I'm gonna be living here. The police is not gonna do anything. They're gonna tell you to hire a lawyer to go and proceed with what we call an eviction process. Why? Because in California, we don't have laws for squatters. There's nothing in the law that will say this is the steps to follow in case you have squatters on your property. Because once the squatter get in, once the squatter take possession of your house, it goes under the rights as a tenant. California is one of the states that is most tenant friendly. So the squatters will go with the tenant's right. If he goes with the tenant's right, you probably won't be able to disconnect the light, the electricity, and the water services because it's against the law. Second, you're not gonna want to lose your property, so most probably you're gonna continue to do the mortgage payments. So until you do the eviction, until you hire a lawyer who help you to rid off of these people, you're gonna be paying mortgage and you're gonna be paying bills for this property in the meantime that somebody else is living there. And don't think that the squatter randomly chooses your house. Most probably he studied your schedules. He knew when you're not gonna be there. He knew there's no alarms in the property. He knew there's no cameras in the property. This can happen to any property. Can be a land, can be a condo, can be a townhouse, can be a house. Who are the target? Who are the easiest target? People who has properties, let's say, in better conditions. Sometimes, because sometimes if somebody doesn't have any place to live, they don't mind whatever property they take possession of. Another easy target for them are seniors. Why? Because a squatter doesn't have to be somebody that you don't know. It can be a caregiver, anybody who put their possessions in the house and then refuse to leave later. You're gonna have to do an eviction. Why I say seniors? Because a lot of times seniors are very independent. They have their house, they have their families, and grandma has her house. Family sometimes don't visit too often, and they're not all the time there. Sometimes grandma goes to the kids' house, the house stay empty. Now, what are the actions that you should take to avoid or try to avoid this type of situation? First of all, any property should have a camera. And I'm not talking just about a ring camera that's only one camera that is really easy to cover. I'm talking about cameras that they cannot have access to it. Cameras that are high in the ceiling, so it's hard to remove. Cameras in different corners of the house. Second, it's a very good idea to have an alarm system. Alarm companies or safety companies right now has programs where they put the cameras for free, they give you the equipment for free, and you do the monthly payments. Having a neighbor checking your property when you go on vacation is not a good idea, because the only thing that these people need is 2 seconds to get in, bring in a couple clothes, put it in the closet to show that they are living there. So the best way to prevent this, I would say there are 3 ways how I mentioned: cameras, have a safety system installed in the house, and the third one that I never thought about it was to have a key on your mailbox. A lot of mailboxes are open to the public. And why they said it's a good idea to do this? Because if a squatter wants to show that they live there, the squatter wants to show that he has something in your house that belongs to them, they can do a mail directed to that address, but directed to them, to their name, but send it to your address. And before you check the mail, they can pick up the letter once it arrives to your house, and they have proof that they have mail coming to your house. And in that case, it will be harder for you to file or fight it in court. Another thing is there's a reason why people who does flips have a house sitter. They have a house sitter for this reason. So whoever has rentals there, even if it's one condo that you rent, even if it's one little house that you have for rent, that's your investment. Treat it at one house like you have a million of them. Treat it like you have 10 or 20 rentals, and follow the rules that most big companies follow. Why? Because those big companies pay professionals to put all those rules in place, to do all the contracts, to do all the regulations necessary so the property will be protected. Don't take it lightly. That's what I try to say. I hope this information helped you. I hope you never be a victim of these people, but we never know. I'm just trying to pass the information to you, and I hope it helped you. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Bye-bye.